Lisa Dwyer.
NASA astronauts won't say which one of them got sick after almost 8 months in space. Correspondent Jennifer King has more on that story.
Prolonged missions in space can take a toll on your health, something 3 NASA astronauts talked about in their first news conference after almost 8 months aboard the International Space Station. Pilot Michael Barrett says he can feel the difference.
There wasn't in a book I read. Hey, you're going to space, it's going to be hard to sit on a hard chair.
Mission specialist Jeanette Epps.
Some of the muscle pains that you'll have because you haven't held your head up in 8 months almost.
Crew 8 Commander Matthew Dominic, a doctor who specializes in space medicine, says they learn new things with each mission about what extended time in space does to the human body.
Kind of expect this road to Mars to be paved with new discoveries, whether we like it or not.
Audio courtesy NASA, I'm Jennifer King.
It was a good day on Wall Street as the Dow was up by 259 points. The Nasdaq rose 17. The S&P 500 moved up 22 points to a new record 59.95. Oil down to $70.41 a barrel. More at townhall.com.
How would you define the instability of our economy after this election has many worried, and stocks and bonds could be the first to collapse. Countless Americans are turning to the safest store of wealth in human history to protect their retirement accounts. Physical precious metals. Gold has been a safe haven asset for generations. At Premier Gold, we specialize in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts convert their vulnerable paper assets into physical gold to protect their hard-earned savings. Today, we'd like to send you a free gold election kit to help you decide if this is right for you. Call 606-800-8000 to claim yours. Act before the election to take advantage of the current rollover policies, allowing for a quick and seamless transfer into physical gold or silver. Don't let the outcome of this election influence the fate of your financial future. Call 606-800-8000 now. Premier Gold is not a financial advisor. Please consult with your advisor before investing. Call 606-800-8000.
Assault charges have been filed against a man accused of shooting at occupied vehicles in North Carolina's capital city.
Raleigh police say the 23-year-old suspect faces multiple charges in addition to assault. A second person detained at the time of his arrest has been released without any charges being filed. The case came to light after several people reported gunfire on Interstate 40 in Raleigh and suburban Cary around the Wednesday morning rush hour. Reports of other similar shootings then surfaced. One person hit in the leg suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Rich Thomason reporting.
Police say they've arrested a man in a spate of random stabbings over 2 days in Seattle in which 9 people were injured. Police say 5 people were stabbed on Friday and 1 person was taken into custody near the scene of one of the stabbings. 4 people are in critical condition. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. The air pollution.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-380-4452. 800-380-4452. That's 800-380-4452.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Please press button now. No, that number's bigger than the one I said.
It's a Friday night in South Carolina, and that means high school football. Welcome to the Founders Federal High School Scoreboard with Phil Kornblut and David Shelton. We've got all the scores from across the state, plus game reports and interviews with coaches. The High School Scoreboard is proudly brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now, let's head to the Scoreboard Studios in Columbia. Here's Phil Kornblut.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome into the High School Football Scoreboard. Brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union across the states here on the Sports Talk Media Network. Hope everybody's having a lovely evening. Back in the Palmetto State, we're coming to you from Tennessee, from Nashville, South Carolina, Vanderbilt tomorrow. We are here to cover that game tomorrow on our website, sportstalksc.com. So make sure you
You join us there for coverage of the Gamecocks and the Commodores, and also Matt Smith will be up in Blacksburg, Virginia, covering Clemson and Virginia Tech. Same thing. Follow along there on our website, sportstalksc.com. And J.P. Barry back in our studios in Columbia. Are you aware of our new Twitter page, our new X page that we have since our long-running established one was absconded with and kidnapped and made unusable? Did you know this?
I did know this.
Might want to turn on your microphone?
Yeah, I had the wrong one turned on.
There you go.
I'm used to having you in here.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, Josh told me a little bit about it. That's just, it's the unfortunate reality of things. It's happening a lot lately on Twitter.
It's brutal.
It's very unfortunate. It's happened to a couple good buddies of mine. So
yeah.
You hate to see it.
Did they get their account back? Were they able to work through Twitter and get it back? Because
hit or
we've had
miss.
no luck.
Yeah, hit or miss.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
We're working on it. But in the meantime, you can follow us, and everybody else can follow us now at the new account, which is ST, Sports Talk, ST Media Network. So capital S, capital T. Probably doesn't matter if you capitalize it. The letters ST Media Network. So make sure you bookmark that so you got us there as well. Okay, high school football tonight in South Carolina. A limited schedule across the state. Most of the action taking place in the upstate, but the biggest game taking place in the Midlands, Dutch Fork and Irmo. And we have the first round of the playoffs among the Skeeza schools tonight. Of course, this is the final Friday night of the regular season for teams in the high school league. So David Shelton will be joining us a little bit later on from down the low country. Let's go ahead and give you some of the scores that we do have in. This is off of ScoreStream, so we do not guarantee whatsoever the accuracy of these scores. As a matter of fact, was it last week we joked about it? Somebody had posted an obscene score that was completely bogus and lopsided, and sure enough, it ended up on the website of one of the newspapers in the state because they use the same sources. They just copy and pasted, and obviously it was like 100 and something to 20 something, crazy like that. Obviously wasn't true. So that's the risk you run with ScoreStream. So I'll say up front, we can't guarantee the numbers here. But for the most part, most of the scores are pretty close to being right on. And so we'll share them with you. We got games in action. We got some games that have gone final. So let's tell you what we've got as we start across the state here. In the third quarter, Chesney was leading Blacksburg 40-13. A final score in the Skeeza playoffs, Richard win over Newberry Academy, 51-16. Another final in the Skeeza playoffs, Bethesda shut out Orangeburg Prep 36-0. Sticking in Skeeza, final in the playoffs, Jefferson Davis over W.W. King, 46-22. Another Skeeza playoff final, Williamsburg Academy over Patrick Henry, 55-6. And also in the Skeeza playoffs tonight, final score, Dorchester Academy defeats Colleton Prep 45-7. Second half score in the playoffs in Skeeza, Hilton Head Christian 21, Florence Christian 7. A final in the Skeeza playoffs, Wilson Hall 25, John Paul II 14. Fourth quarter Skeeza playoff score, Northside Christian 53, First Baptist 28. Okay, now we move to other scores. Powdersville defeats Southside Christian tonight in the upstate, 44-0. Skeeza playoff final score, PD Academy 56, Spartanburg Christian 19. Myrtle Beach High School in the fourth quarter, leading Socastee 35-23. In the fourth quarter, Greenville High over Easley 42-21. Fourth quarter score, one of the big ones of the night, taking place over in Gaffney. The Spartanburg Vikings leading the Gaffney Indians 24-13. JP, one-time center for the Spartanburg Vikings. Your thoughts on this game? Did you ever play a game in Gaffney when you were at Spartanburg?
Yeah, I played two. And it's not a nice place to. I mean, it's a nice place to play if you love football. But especially
I hope you love football since you were actually playing football and
and I'm here working a high school football show.
Yeah, I hope you loved it.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, it's it's one of the toughest places,
Oh yeah,
of where we went when I played in high school. I mean, it's top 3 up there with Dorman, and then we went down to Georgia and played Archer, where Andrew Booth came out of. And that place was pretty crazy. But the reservation, they get nuts up there, and it can take a toll. But South Carolina, hey, defense travels, so we'll see if they can hold on. Will Love has actually missed several kicks tonight, which is
that's not like him.
No, it is not. That is one of the more shocking things of this season for Spartanburg. But despite that, this is what, year 4 for Coach Hodge? 2020.
I think that's right.
2020,
Yeah,
2021,
right.
22, 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, one loss, which is to Dutch Fork, and then you're running the table and you're beating these teams. Of course, you got to hold on tonight, but
yeah,
heck of
pretty
a job.
impressive.
Yep,
pretty impressive. All right, 24-13. We'll see if that stands. The game David's at, third quarter, Kane Bay is leading Berkeley down in Charleston, 28-23. Christ Church defeats St. Joseph's 34-14. In the fourth quarter, Clinton over Liberty, 42-22. Third quarter score, Saluda all over American Leadership Academy out of Lexington. That's a 57-0 score right now. Carolina Forest leads North Myrtle Beach in the fourth quarter, 49-17. Abbeville defeats McCormick, 48-6. In the third quarter, North Augusta and Gray Collegiate. We expected this to be a really good ball game, and it's been all that. It's 20-17. Last check, we had North Augusta leading Gray Collegiate. Of course, Gray Collegiate, as David Shelton reminded us all tonight on Sports Talk, they still have an appeal coming up related to if they're going to be in the playoffs after being booted from the playoffs. Their coaches, not all their coaches, but their head coach and I think a couple of assistants, they've been suspended, so they've had a very very turbulent time over there at Gray Collegiate. Another final, Mountain View Prep over Union County, 48-7. Third quarter score, T.L. Hanna 43, Hillcrest 7. Hilton Head leading Bluffton in the fourth quarter, 42-7. Final, West Side 61, South Side nothing. I tell you what, the Rams look like, they are very, very strong for winning a second straight state championship with Cutter Woods at quarterback, just slicing and dicing up secondaries all across the state. Greer leading Travelers Rest 51-0. That's a fourth quarter score. Oh, a dandy here. This was a critical game in their region, but the way it turns out, it's going to be Batesburg-Leesville claiming the region championship, beating Strom-Thurmond 8-7. So what a tough one there. I wonder if Thurmond led 7-0 and then Batesburg scored and went for 2 and got it to win at 8-7. That would just be how I would surmise that from afar. Pickens all over Berea tonight. Final score of 52-0. In the fourth quarter, Lawrence and Fountain Inn, they are tied 14-14. And Daniel has beaten Seneca. Region championship again for Daniel this year. 42-21, the Lions over Seneca. And Greenwood defeats Malden tonight, 35-13. All right, the one in Columbia, last score we've had, Dutch Fork and Irmo, and it's the Silver Foxes. This is a third quarter score, leading Irmo 21-14. Dutch Fork over Irmo 21-14. In the fourth quarter, Newberry on top of Silver Bluff, 33-21. Another final, Palmetto defeats Carolina High, 57-6. In the fourth quarter, River Bluff on top of Lexington, 24-10. In the fourth quarter, it's West Florence leading Spring Valley, 46-12. Another fourth quarter score. Real good ball game, though. Ware Shoals, 36, Whitmire, 34. Final score, J.L. Mann, a winner over Woodmont, 35-6. Stratford defeats Goose Creek. Big rivalry game there in the Charleston area. And that final score was 21-14. Third quarter score, Sumter leading Ridgeview 42-6. In the fourth quarter, Chapin leading White Knoll 35-34. Final, South Aiken, and this would have been played yesterday. South Aiken beat Airport 40-27. And also on Thursday, Gilbert defeated Aiken 52-7. And there you go. That is the run-through of the scores being posted so far on ScoreStream. So we'll get an update on those and updates from other sources. And we'll do that after this break. And we'll have some reports coming in for you here in just a little bit as well. And David Shelton will be joining us after the bottom of the hour break. Also hope to talk to some coaches out there as well tonight as we catch up with them after what would be a successful night. We don't usually talk to coaches that lose. I can guarantee you 100% of the time we only talk to coaches who win. And we'll be back after the break.
Some insurance carriers are based in another state or only have an online presence. Not at Farm Bureau Insurance. They're a local South Carolina company that believes commitment comes with a handshake. Become part of the Farm Bureau Insurance family today by calling Buddy Bridges at 864-984-0413 or stop by the Upstate office at 726 East Main Street in Lawrence.
Set your youth up for a lifetime of financial success with Smart Start from Founders Federal Credit Union. Smart Start products and educational resources help teach kids and teens the basics of saving, budgeting, and smart spending. Help them learn smart money skills to jumpstart their financial journey with Smart Start savings, debit, certificates, and educational resources. Learn more at foundersfcu.com/smartstart. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
In Columbia, South Carolina, game days are our specialty. Whether you're watching the game from inside the stadium or from the big screen at your favorite local spot, the energy remains the same. Craft the perfect fall Saturday in a city where there is plenty of action on and off the field. From tubing and kayaking to Soda City to rooftop restaurants and plenty barbecue. We're ready when you are. Plan your weekend at experiencecolumbiasc.com.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef. It's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's the High School Football Scoreboard here on the Sports Talk Media Network across the state of South Carolina on this Friday night. I hope everybody's having a great evening. We're here in Nashville, Tennessee, getting ready for the big game tomorrow between South Carolina and Vanderbilt. Looking forward to that and bringing that coverage on our website, sportstalksc.com. So make sure you follow along with us there. And let's go to our first reporter of the night. He's up in the upstate, but they got plenty of football tonight. Let's welcome in the full Monty on Clinton. It's Monty Dunton with the story on Clinton and Liberty tonight. Welcome in, Monty. How are you?
Well, Clinton just wrapped up his third straight region championship, the first one in 2A. And, you know, Region 2 is pretty balanced other than Clinton. The teams are pretty good offensively, but they can't score as fast. It has to be frustrating. By the way, there was a pretty good chance that the Red Devils were going to win the region because Liberty and Clinton are both Red Devils. and it's the first time Clinton has played another Red Devil in almost 80 years. So,
wait a minute. They've played nobody else named the Red Devils in over 80 years?
yes, and the Red Devils they played then were Lockhart.
How about that? And there is no more Lockhart, unfortunately. No more Lockhart.
That's part of Union County now.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, enough of this Union County stuff. Trivia. Clinton won 42-22. It was 29-7 at half. And, Clinton had 3 long touchdowns called back in the game by penalties. So, in the first half, Javen Cook had 7 carries for 114 yards. Didn't play that much in the second half. Tashawn Richardson threw a touchdown pass. KJ Vance had a touchdown. I believe Tashawn Richardson, the quarterback, also had a rushing touchdown. But Clinton's offense was very potent, and it would have been more potent had it not been for so many flags in the game. But Clinton is 7-2. They've won 15 straight region games dating back to 2021. And it looks like the Red Devils will host Pelion next week in the beginning of the 2A playoffs. And Clinton is at home all the way through the upstate playoffs, should they go that far. So the last 3 years, Clinton has lost in the playoffs on the road. So that's quite a factor in their camp.
Nope.
It's a pretty rough place to play.
Breaking up there, but I got the gist of what you were saying. So, going to be home throughout the playoffs, and you have a game next week against Pelion. You'll be heavily favored to win that one, I would say.
Yes, that's the way that first round games are.
Yes.
They're played at a real high seeded team that will draw a lot of fans, and there'll be 3 dozen from the other team, but it'll be worth the money because people in Clinton will turn out for this team.
Oh, no question about it. While you were in Liberty, all right, I'm checking my brain here. I'm testing my memory. Did you happen to run across, what's his name? Who was the great running back from Liberty many years ago that went to Georgia? Had the great nickname?
No, I didn't. I did.
Electron. His name was Electron. That was his nickname. Electron something.
Well, I'm not well versed with the Liberty community. Clinton's region is 3 schools grouped together, Blacksburg, Chesney, and Landrum, and then Clinton's way south and Liberty is way west. So
it is kind of strange.
It's a weird region.
Yeah, I was going to say it's very strange to hear you talking about a Clinton Liberty game as a conference game here at the end of the regular season.
Yes, Clinton. This was the actual. Had Liberty won, Chesney might have had a chance. But the fact is, Clinton didn't come close to losing in the region, and so Clinton is a very, very prolific offensive team that has. It's kind of like this is going to haunt them at some point. Clinton has a lot of penalties, but it looks like all that does is tick them off. First and 20, big deal. We're going 50 yards on the next play. And most of it is on the ground.
As it has
They're
been,
really
and
wide open on run.
As it will be moving forward. Okay, Monty, thank you. Great hearing from you. Look for you next week in the playoffs.
All right. Nice to talk to you as always, Phil.
You too, sir. Thank you. Who was that running back from Liberty? Because Georgia, he went to Georgia. They had Herschel Walker. Then I think Carney Norris from Spartanburg went there right about that time. Never really got to play because of Herschel. And then there was another running back from Liberty, Tron. They called him Electron. It was Tron something. He was a great running back in high school. Anybody knows, give us a call. 888-898-2525 is that number. But thank you, Monty, for that. Another final. Woodruff beat Broome tonight by a final score of 35-14. I'm sure we'll get a report on that coming up in just a little bit. Let's see other finals that we have in here. Boiling Springs over Eastside 41-0. Greenwood tops Malden 35-13. And let's see, check another source here from for some other scores. Let's see here. Well, Let me do this. We got college basketball tonight as well. South Carolina and Clemson both playing basketball tonight at their home arenas, and both were victorious. South Carolina defeated South Carolina State tonight at the Colonial Life Arena 86-64 to even their record on the season at 1-1. The Gamecocks were led by Jacoby Wright, who had 20 points, hit 4 3-pointers, had 3 assists with 19 points. Colin Murray Boyles, he also had 16 rebounds, so he had 19 and 16. So the Gamecocks get a couple of their older guys you can call them older guys that have been in the program, step up and play well. They shot 47% from the floor and 18 of 25 from the line, a little bit better. It's still 7 misses. They've had a little bit of a cold start shooting free throws going back to their exhibition game, but we'll see if this kind of gets them going a little bit. Got to believe that Coach Lamont Paris was more pleased with the effort. The Gamecocks won the rebound battle 51-36 and had 18 offensive rebounds that led to 15 second chance points. They also outscored State in the paint 42-34. As for Clemson, the Tigers had no trouble tonight dispatching St. Francis 88-62 at Little John Coliseum. The Tigers had, looks like they had 4 score in double figures, led by Ian Shefflin, their outstanding forward. He had 16 points. Along with those 16 points, he had 13 rebounds. He also had 4 assists, did a little bit of everything. And then also with 16 points, the newcomer, Jaden Zachary, transfer guard. He had 16 points along with 4 rebounds and 6 assists.
Well, Phil,
for the Tigers. Yes, sir.
Someone has claimed their prize. Steven called in and let you know that it was Tron Jackson who played for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Thank you. That's it. Tron Jackson. Yeah. Boy, during that little era, we had some great running backs up there. Carney Norris, Tron Jackson, pretty much in the same era, I think. And they both went to Georgia. And they both had Herschel Walker there, I think, or right around that time, or they were caught up in all, Herschel Walker was like the most famous, but Georgia had a great run of fantastic running backs during that period. Anyway, Clemson shoots 59% from the floor tonight. They hit 12 3-pointers, 10 of 17 from the line, and scored 25 points off turnovers tonight. So they did force 16 turnovers. They turned it over 16 times themselves. So the Tigers get off to a 2-0 start on the season with that win tonight. Okay, Gilbert beat Aiken 62-7. South Aiken over Airport 40-27. Batesburg-Leesville 8-7 over Strom Thurmond. Heck of a defensive battle in that one. Skeeza playoffs in 3A, Wilson Hall 25, John Paul II 14. In 2A, PD Academy 56, Spartanburg Christian 19, Bethesda Academy 36, Orangeburg Prep nothing. In 1A, Dorchester Academy 45, Colleton Prep 7, Williamsburg Academy 55, Patrick Henry 6. We'll be back after the break.
Do you crave growth for your business? That's where The Point comes in. Fran Halloran here. Kevin Cohen and the other local hosts like me have worked to create a space where listeners transform into family. Are you a local business aiming for the stars? You need to get with Kevin and let him help create an individualized blueprint for your growth using the influential stage of The Point Radio. Reach out directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, make this year extraordinary.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 a.m. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
Here's today's STEM tip. Don't throw out that old plastic bottle. Repurpose it by turning it into an awesome terrarium. Just fill it with sand, pebbles, soil, and your favorite plant. It'll grow sealed right in its own ecosystem. Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
With SRN News, I'm Ron Taylor. The judge overseeing Donald Trump's 2020 election interference case has canceled any remaining court deadlines after prosecutors said they need time to assess the appropriate course going forward after Trump's victory this week. Smith's team has been evaluating how to wind down the two federal cases before the president-elect takes office in light of long-standing Justice Department policy that says sitting presidents cannot be prosecuted. Dutch authorities say Israeli fans were assaulted after a soccer game in Amsterdam by hordes of young people apparently riled up by calls on social media to target Jewish people. 5 people were treated at hospitals and dozens were arrested after the attacks. Southern California firefighters have made progress against a wildfire that's been destroyed 132 structures, mostly homes. The flames were fanned by fierce wind gusts that began easing Friday, allowing some people to return to sort through the charred remains of their homes. The mountain fire started Wednesday morning in Ventura County. This is SRN News.
How would you define your relationship?
This is Ian with AccuClean. Regular carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning isn't just about keeping them looking beautiful and smelling fresh. It can also help to extend their life, which in turn saves money in the long run. Check out AccuClean today for our other services, such as mattress sanitation, odor and enzyme treatments, and leather cleaning and conditioning. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 for all your carpet cleaning needs and more. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. I'll see you soon.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The major averages finishing higher and posting record closes, with both the Dow and S&P 500 delivering their best weekly performance of the year. Expectations of lower corporate taxes and looser regulations under President-elect Trump are helping fuel Wall Street. Among the S&P 500 sectors, tech was the worst performer, while healthcare gained. The Dow up 260 points, the Nasdaq up 17, S&P 500 up 22. Shares of Trump Media and Technology Group popped 14% after slumping over 20% on Thursday. The stock has had a volatile week after Donald Trump, who is the majority shareholder of Trump Media, won the U.S. presidential election. Shares of NVIDIA falling 1% after notching a record close on Thursday. On Friday, NVIDIA, along with paint maker Sherwin-Williams, joined the Dow. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
I'm Emily Campagno, host of the Fox True Crime Podcast. In 2001, 24-year-old Washington, D.C. intern Chandra Levy mysteriously disappeared. Almost exactly 1 year later, her skeletal remains were found. This week, I'm joined by Fox News senior correspondent Claudia Cowan and former NYPD Inspector Paul Morrell for a look back at the murder of Chandra Levy and all the questions that still remain in this scandalous case. Available now on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Wakey, wakey. Sunday morning football is back in Germany.
Let's go!
And NFL Network has an NFC clash live from Allianz Arena in Munich as the Giants square off against the Panthers. Set your alarms because this waits for no one. Rise, shine, football. Giants, Panthers, Sunday, November 10th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices. Just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
We continue here on the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal. Good to have you with us here on Sports Talk's High School Football Scoreboard. Of across the state of South Carolina. Phil Kornblut here in Nashville, and JP Barry back at our studios in Columbia. A lot of folks are standing by to jump on the lines with us. David Shelton will be with us just a moment. Let me update some scores in the upstates, and then we'll get back to reports. Chesney 47, Blacksburg 13. These are all finals. Boiling Springs 41, Eastside nothing. Wren 42, Emerald 25. Greenville 49, Easley 21. Greer 51, Travelers Rest nothing. Greenwood 35, Malden 13. In the fourth quarter, Spartanburg 24, Gaffney 19. Still waiting to get the final there. T.L. Hanna 43, Hillcrest 20. Clinton 42, Liberty 22. Fountain Inn 35, Lawrence 14. Abbeville 48, McCormick 6. Palmetto 57, Carolina 6. Pickens 52, Berea nothing. In the fourth quarter, Riverside 44, Wade Hampton 13. Powdersville 44, Southside Christian nothing. Daniel 42, Seneca 21. Christ Church 34, St. Joseph's 14. Crescent 42, Walhalla nothing. Mountain View 48, Union County 7. Westside 61, Southside nothing. Ware Shoals 36, Whitmire 34. Woodruff 35, Broome 14. Man 35, Woodmont 6. And did I say Crescent 42, Walhalla nothing? If I didn't, I just did. We'll check other scores coming up, but let's get back to reporters out in the fields. We have a hot call. Ladies and gentlemen. It's a hot call from Billy Baker as he joins us from Points Unknown. Billy, welcome in. Where are you tonight? Who'd you go see? Do we have Billy, JP?
Well, we did.
He might be in one of those wooded areas out in the country and hard to get a connection. Let me know if you've got him, or should we go to our next call? Let me know.
Yeah, Well, let's go to somebody. While I try to ring him back up.
Well, let's go to Garrett Mitchell. Garrett Mitchell's in line. Garrett Mitchell with the story on Woodruff and Broome tonight. We'll try to get Billy back on the line because it's a hot call, and we love our hot calls. But Garrett Mitchell always calls with a hot call. Garrett, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good, Phil. Hope your trip up to Nashville was safe and uneventful. Hope you watch out for those Commodores tomorrow night. They seem to have a tendency for hanging around with good football teams.
Yes, they do. I don't think if you're South Carolina, you can by no means consider this the Vanderbilt of old. They are the Vanderbilt of new.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, I tell you what, speaking of renewed teams, of course, I've been talking about Woodruff all year, and 4-7 last year with a young squad. Well, they come out tonight to take down the Broome Centurions 35-14. A bit of an odd game. It was pretty close, 21-14. Broome had it to a 7-point game as they started the fourth quarter. But Woodruff had 4 touchdowns called back on penalties tonight, and 3 of those drives ended up stalling out after the scores were called back. So, I think it could have probably been a little bit more of a wider margin. But credit to the Centurions. They came out. It's a rivalry game. They played hard. They were able to do some things that were a little frustrating at times. But Woodruff, when you look at the Wolverines, just too much talent stacked across the board. Defense stood up and made big plays in the second half. Aiden Gibson, you've heard me talk about him, big 6'2", 200-pound sophomore running back. 2 more rushing touchdowns tonight. He's up to over almost 1,400 yards rushing and 21 touchdowns on the season. Quarterback T.J. Marsh threw for 2 touchdowns. And got another young man, a speedster, junior Corey Moats, had a 64-yard rushing touchdown as well. So it was a really balanced night for the Wolverines, and they finished the regular season 8-1, and they'll be at home next week in the first round against the Pendleton Bulldogs.
I got to give you credit, Garrett. I remember talking to you last year. You called in, reporting on the games. I remember the end of the season, and you said, hey, this was a young team. Look out for them in 2024. I think you nailed it.
That's right. And, I think sometimes as fans, and, I count myself among that too, it's a little bit easy to get impatient, but you have to stand back and take a look at things in a broader lens and see, look, you're starting probably 10 sophomores, 4 or 5 juniors, and a freshman running back, and you're returning 17, 18 starters the following year. The natural progression of things, kids get older, they get bigger, stronger, faster, and, I think those on the inside, we knew that we had a chance to be really good this year, and, here it is. I would say that if we're playing to our capability, we've got as good a shot as anybody else in the upper state. Still a lot of football to be played, some good teams in the upper states. We've got to bring it every week in the playoffs, but, I think it's anybody's chance among the upper echelon to make it to Orangeburg.
Yeah. This team, you like this team's chances in the playoffs? Are they built for a championship run?
My honest opinion is I think we are, and I say that to say, of course, you've got Belton Honeypath, who's ranked number 1 in the state. They've got Marquise Henderson. Until somebody proves that in 3A that can step up and beat them, I think everybody has to go in against those guys, with the assumption that they're probably ranked number 1 for a legitimate reason. But, if Wolverines can come out and play well against them, it would be a third-round matchup. Then certainly we have the talent to play with anybody. And let's say you run into Mountain View Prep again. Well, we hadn't played in 28 days when we played them, and they won by 2 points. So that tells me it's at worst it's an even matchup across the board. So, yes, I think this Woodruff team, if they play to their potential, can play with and beat anybody in 3A.
All right, my man, we thank you as always. Looking forward to a nice playoff run, and we will talk to you next week.
That sounds good, Phil. Have a great time in Nashville, and I'll be talking to you next Friday.
Thank you very much. Yep, we're all looking forward to next week. Things getting serious. Update. JP, close your ears. Don't listen to this. Fourth quarter, must be late. Gaffney 27, Spartanburg 24. All right, don't be pounding the tables in there. Gaffney 27, Spartanburg 24. That is in the fourth quarter. I don't know how much time is left. Probably pretty late. So we're keeping a close watch on that. Let's go to our next reporter out in the fields tonight. And it's Taylor Novlinger. Sorry, Taylor. Hang on. You just got bumped because we have a hot call from Billy Baker coming in from the field somewhere. Still don't know where Billy is. Billy, welcome in. Where are you?
Phil, well, we switched over to the coach's phone, Johnny Waters. Tonight, Northwood Academy beat LMA 49-20 in the first round of the Skeezer 4A playoffs. This is a great story. When Coach Waters came here a year ago at Northwood, the Chargers had lost 29 games in a row, and last year they were 6-5. Tonight, he's 10-2. The top offensive players for Northwood was Kevin Ford, a junior running back, 20 carries, 140 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Top receiver was Aiden Hogan, 4 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. And Washington caught 4 passes for 28 yards. Quarterback Austin Grady for Northwood, 105 yards and 1 touchdown. But Johnny Waters is just a great rebuilder of programs, coached at First Baptist. And he now has the honor of playing Porter Goud again next Friday. And the winner of that game has the honor of playing Hammond in the Skeezer State Finals that'll be held at Charleston Southern 2 weeks from tonight at Charleston Southern. Here's Johnny Waters live from his office at Northwood Academy. A big winner tonight. Here is Coach Waters.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hello, Coach.
Hey, Phil. How you doing?
Coach, congratulations. How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you very much.
Hey, give us that final once again that Billy just gave us. What was your final?
Yeah. It was 49-20.
49-20. Okay, I want to make sure I get that down. Well, that's a heck of a way to open up the playoffs. Obviously, had to like it both ways, offense, defense. Had it going tonight?
Yeah, we did. I think we got it. It was 49-7, and we pretty much, started playing everybody, and they got a couple of late scores on us, and that's fine. We got everybody some action and was able to rest a couple of guys.
So offensively, what'd you have working for you tonight?
Phil, really the run game, and we're little short passes they were giving that to us, and basically the run game. We've lost a couple of running backs, and Cave is one of our top guys, but we had depth there, which we don't have anymore. So he pretty much got the load tonight.
Yeah. Defensively, holding them to 20, and you said some late scores for them. So you played defense pretty well all night long. What was standing out for you on defense?
Well, so our defense has been stellar all year. I mean, like I said, I think it's 49-7 into the fourth quarter, and like I said, we started pulling people. Our defensive front is, our front seven is just, they're strong. That's the strength of our football team this year. And they really put us in good positions, and they just fly to the football. I mean, we've got several that are just outstanding.
Well, I don't want you to be mad at Billy, but he kind of makes it sound like, it's just Hammond's little march to another championship here in the playoffs.
Well, that's funny. When I was at First Baptist, I think we were the last season team to beat Hammond at First Baptist. We beat them back in the Birch and Huntley days, 7-6 at our place, and we played them in a state championship back when I was at First Baptist. So we like to have that opportunity to play them again. We played them tight here earlier in the year, and they got a win on us, and we like the opportunity, and we hope we get there. We got a tough one next week, but if we do that, we get to that game, it'll be a good one.
As I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, you had a pretty special running back on that team, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Mikey Dukes, you're exactly right. Yep, sure did.
Yeah,
he helped us win a couple state championships there, and just a great kid, as we all know. And he was pretty special for us. And actually, when we beat him, it was actually the season after he left that we beat him. But he was our catalyst that helped us turn that program around at First Baptist.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Hey, congratulations tonight. We appreciate it. We'll be following you guys over the next couple of weeks. We'll see how it works out.
Really. Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you and Billy for having us on. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much. Coach Johnny Waters from over at Northwood Academy, and they win over Lawrence Manning tonight. I love the way he laughed. That was awesome. 49-20, the final score. Everybody thinks you're playing for second place in skis of 4A with Hammond in there, but, he's a coach, and he's going to think that they can get out there and get it done as well. So we'll see. That's why you play the game. All right, got to run to the break, and we'll come back with, and thanks to Billy Baker from the High School Sports Report. Make sure you check out the High School Sports Report for the latest standings and statistics and rankings and all kind of great stories on all kind of teams, not just football teams, all sports covered by the High School Sports Report, hssr.com, hssr.com. We'll come back with more scores and more reports after this break on the High School Scoreboard.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hosteller Brown. Did you know it's possible to avoid probate court after you die, regardless of what you own? Why put your loved ones through a long, stressful public process when there are better options for your family? Visit lawyerlisa.com to see how we can help.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Set your youth up for a lifetime of financial success with Smart Start from Founders Federal Credit Union. Smart Start products and educational resources help teach kids and teens the basics of saving, budgeting, and smart spending. Help them learn smart money skills to jumpstart their financial journey with Smart Start savings, debit, certificates, and educational resources. Learn more at foundersfcu.com/smartstart. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there. offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
All right, it's gone final at the new reservation, which really isn't all that new anymore, but still called the new reservation to separate it from the old reservation. What a comeback. Gaffney has beaten Spartanburg 27-24. So the Gaffney Indians take that region title up there in the upstate. The NFL of high school football in South Carolina, that particular region. Let's welcome in David Shelton from the Post and Courier and the High School Sports Report. His first moments with us tonight, and let's just welcome him in to talk about that. How about Gaffney coming from behind in the fourth quarter to beat Spartanburg tonight?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be we knew it was going to be a close one. We knew it was going to be a battle. Spartanburg, hard to win at the new reservation, at the old reservation, any other reservation. So
yeah.
Just a solid win, and both teams going to the playoffs, and got to feel good about it. Gaffney will be a Division II team, and Spartanburg will be in Division I, and both teams need to feel good about their season and what's ahead for them.
But that is so disappointing right there, what you just said. I mean, seriously. Spartanburg and Gaffney and Burns and Westside and Hannah and Greenwood and Somerville and Fort D and Dutch Fork and Irmo, they should all be in the same playoff class.
Okay, well, you become the South Carolina high school league guy, and you do it and see how they like that. Of course, Westside's 4A. I don't know if Westside wants to go to 5A.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
So it would be, I've always said, it would be really fun at the end of the season after the championships to pick four of those teams like Westside, Dutch Fork, and whoever, just pick four teams and have like a charity doubleheader. Let's find out who the top dog really is, because Westside could play with anybody in 5A. There's no question about it. And usually there are teams in those lower classifications that could play with anybody. A 3A team or like a Daniel for a couple of years there, they could have played with anybody in 5A or 4A. So, but it is the way it is. We got state champions for a reason, and I'm looking forward to the playoffs, and Gaffney. Gaffney's going to be a team in Division II that's got a shot, definitely.
Yeah, no question about it. Okay, David, stand by. We're still waiting to get a final on that Dutch Fork and Irmo game, unless you've heard one. Have you heard one yet?
No, I've been battling phone issues with me and Josh have been going back and forth. I've been trying to get online for 30 minutes and haven't checked my Twitter because I was trying to answer the phone and call in. And so that game's got to be over, though. I mean, check Lou Bajak's Twitter. It's got to be over.
Yep. I'm going to check it here in just a moment. I'm checking the scores from the Midlands here momentarily as soon as I get to the to the right page. While we do that, let's get another reporter in on the air. Taylor Novinger from, Ridgeview tonight. Hey, Taylor, Ridgeview and Sumter tonight, correct?
Yes, sir. I normally do the Crestwood games, but, they called me up. They wanted me to do the Sumter game tonight. And Sumter High School, had a big region title on the line with Ridgeview. And Sumter came out. Richardson had a big touchdown run, and Fortune followed the touchdown run. So 2 touchdown runs. They're up 14-0. Ridgeview struggling on offense. They finally got a touchdown on the board. And Ridgeview got, their extra point blocked. So it's 14-6. And right around towards the end of the second quarter, Fortune had another big, long touchdown run, extended the lead. So I think it was 28-6 at halftime. And points just kept on rolling. There were so many points, Phil. I lost track. Sumter just went out, rushed the football all over them, and they won 49-6 over Ridgeview.
Wow, impressive. So your first time seeing them after doing the Crestwood games, what'd you think of Sumter? Maybe the second time. Maybe you saw them when they played Crestwood.
Yes, sir. I did. Yes, sir. This was my second time seeing Sumter, and Phil, I think they're the best team in the state of South Carolina. I know that might be a big statement to some, but the way they rush the football, the way they get after it on defense, they're one heck of a team, and anybody has to face them in the playoffs. They need some prayers.
Yeah. So you said that final was what, 49-6?
49-6, and Sumter wins their region, and they finished 10-0 on the season.
Excellent. Hey, Taylor, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Take care, Phil.
Right. Thank you. All right, David, you heard him. He believes Sumter's the best team in the state. Can you make that statement?
David actually just dropped again. I guess he's going through a rough sell zone.
That sounds entirely possible. All right, let me give you some other scores. River Bluff beat Lexington 24-10. I am looking at Lou's Twitter feed now, and let's see. Chapin beats White Knoll 35-34. All right, we're still trying to get a final here. Oh, here it is. Dutch Fork did beat Irmo tonight 24-14. Dutch Fork, the region champions, number 1 seed in the 5A Division I Upper State playoffs. And Irmo will be the number 2 seed in 5A Division II Lower State playoffs. All right, so thank you for that, Lou. We got that from you. Let's see if Lou has any other finals of interest here. Let's see here. Nope, don't see anything else right now. So hopefully Lou will be calling us in a little bit to give us details on that one, and we'll get David back on board with us here momentarily so he can share his thoughts on that game and other games tonight across the state. But that's a huge win, of course, for Dutch Fork. They continue to roll along, and they're just a machine. What can you say about Dutch Fork? They just are a machine. They're so well coached, and I just love the way Tom Knotts can just take players and plug them in. He doesn't always have that marquee quarterback. He's had a couple of nice ones come through there, like a Will Taylor who went on to play baseball. That one comes to mind. But for the most part, he does it with a nondescript quarterback. Just great all-around offense and a tough defense. And we'll be back.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor. Washington correspondent Jackie Quinn reports on new details into alleged Iranian plot to assassinate Donald Trump before Tuesday's election.
A criminal complaint filed in federal court in New York City says an unnamed leader in Iran's Revolutionary Guard instructed a contact to put together a plan last month to track and ultimately assassinate Donald Trump. The contact's been identified as Farjad Shakari, who was told if he couldn't develop a plot by then, the Iranian official would wait until after the election, thinking it would be easier to reach Trump then if he had lost. Federal officials have been describing ongoing efforts by Iran to target U.S. government officials, including Trump, on U.S. soil. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Also at townhall.com, foreign correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports on Israeli soccer fans returning home and describing anti-Semitic attacks in the Netherlands.
Young people on scooters have attacked Israeli fans in hit-and-run assaults overnight after a soccer game in Amsterdam, apparently fueled by calls to target Jewish people spread on social media, Dutch authorities say. Maccabi Tel Aviv fan Aliyah Cohen, now back in Israel, they were looking for Jewish groups. It was a group of 5 Muslims who approached us, looking at us. We were without the Maccabi shirts. We were wearing a black shirt like the one I'm wearing now. They did not recognize that we were Israelis. So we moved quickly to the other side of the street. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Southern California firefighters have made progress against a wildfire that has destroyed 132 structures. The flames were fanned by fierce wind gusts that began easing Friday, allowing some people to return to sort through the charred remains of their homes. The mountain fire started Wednesday morning in Ventura County and had grown to up to 32 miles. More online at townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor.
How would you define your... So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, Medi-Share members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And Medi-Share is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 15th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
He was the voice of AOL's Welcome, Goodbye, and Files Done messages. Correspondent Ed Donahue reports on the death of the voice of the Internet's past.
The man behind the voice at AOL has died. Elwood Edwards made $200 from taping America Online Greetings in 1989, sitting on his living room couch.
You've got mail.
There were other greetings.
Files done. Goodbye.
You've got mail became a pop culture catchphrase. It was the title of a 1998 Tom Hanks Meg Ryan movie.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Edwards had worked in radio and TV. His second wife was a customer service rep for the internet provider that later became known as AOL. She heard the company was looking for someone to be the voice of its software and suggested him. I'm Ed Donahue.
Breaking news and analysis found at townhall.com with more stories, more online content, and certainly headlines and news at your availability. Townhall.com. New Orleans former
Want to hear my success story? I'm Fran Halloran, the money coach. I'm celebrating a decade of partnering with The Point. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. I've used The Point to significantly grow my small business. It started with a meeting with Kevin Cohen. Do you own a small business? Are you on a limited budget? No problem. Reach out to Kev at 563-8558. Get a customized plan and start your journey to business growth with The Point today. Success is one call away. Take the leap.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point. By the way, before we do what's supposed to happen here, thank you for pushing the button.
It's a Friday night in South Carolina, and that means high school football.
Welcome to the Founders Federal High School Scoreboard with Phil Kornblut and David Shelton. We've got all the scores from across the state, plus game reports and interviews with coaches. The High School Scoreboard is proudly brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now, let's head to the Scoreboard Studios in Columbia. Here's Phil Kornblut.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Hour number 2 of the High School Football Scoreboard brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. What a busy, busy night it has been, despite not having a whole bunch of games. We'll have a full playoff scoreboard for you beginning next week. Playoffs! But tonight, this was the extra week, the add-on week, to allow teams to make up games that had to be postponed because of the storms a few weeks ago. And so they're using this week for that. And then we're going to wipe the slate clean and start with a new system of playoffs in the state of South Carolina. So we look forward to bringing that to you next week. Let's run through all the scores. Let me see here. We've got everything in the upstate, everything in the Midlands, everything in the PD Grand Strand, everything in the Low Country, and we are just lacking a few scores in the SCISA playoffs. So while I do the scores, JP, if you'll focus on getting the rest of those SCISA scores logged, that would be great. So in the upstate tonight, it was Pickens 52, Berea nothing, Chesney 47, Blacksburg 13, Pendleton 26, Blue Ridge nothing, Boiling Springs 41, Eastside nothing, Wren 42, Emerald 25, Gaffney comes from behind, fourth quarter, beat Spartanburg 27-24. Dan Jones' final year at Gaffney. He goes out as far as regular season is concerned with a win over Spartanburg. Greenville beats Easley 49-21. Greenwood over Malden 35-13. Fountainhead tops Lawrence 35-14. It was Clinton defeating Liberty 42-22. Abbeville 48, McCormick 6, Palmetto 57, Carolina 6, Riverside 44, Wade Hampton 20, Saluda 57, American Leadership nothing. Daniel 42, Seneca 21, Powdersville 44, Southside Christian nothing. Christ Church 34, St. Joseph's 14, T.L. Hanna 43, Hillcrest 20. Mountain View 48, Union County 7, Crescent 42, Walhalla nothing. Westside 61, Southside nothing. Ware Shoals 36, Whitmire 34, J.L. Mann 35, Woodmont 6, and Woodruff 35, Broome 14. To the Midlands, Gilbert 52, Aiken 7, Chapin 35, White Knoll 34, Dutch Fork 24, Irmo 14, River Bluff 24, Lexington 10, Fairfield Central 45, Mid Carolina 13. It was North Augusta edging Gray Collegiate 20-17. Blackville Hilda 35, Ridge Spring Monetta 12, Sumter 49, Ridgeview 6, Newberry 33, Silver Bluff 21, South Aiken 40, Airport 27, and Batesburg Leesville over Strom Thurmond 8-7. PD Grand Strand just 4 games. Carolina Forest 49. North Myrtle Beach 24, Conway 49, St. James 35, Myrtle Beach 35, Socastee, thank you, JP, 23. You took out the score. Myrtle Beach 35, Socastee 23, and West Florence 53, Spring Valley 12. Low Country, only 3 games. Hilton Head 42, Bluffton 7, Cane Bay 28, Berkeley 23, and Stratford 21, Goose Creek 14. SCISA playoffs. Let's see. Need to get that Hammond score. Hammond, Cardinal, Newman don't have that yet. Need to find that. Augusta Christian beat Ben Lippman in the 4A playoff 17-7. And Northwood Academy down Lawrence Manning 49-20. 4A playoffs. 3A playoffs. Wilson Hall 25, John Paul II 14. Pinewood Prep 49, Trinity Collegiate 13, Southside Christian 53, First Baptist 28, 2A playoffs, PD Academy 56, Spartanburg Christian 19, Bethesda Academy 36, Orangeburg Prep nothing. 1A playoffs, Dorchester Academy 45, Colleton Prep 7, Williamsburg Academy 55, Patrick Henry 6, Buford Academy 23, Carolina Academy 21, and the famed 8-man playoffs, Richard Wynn 51, Newberry Academy 16, Wardlaw Academy 46, Holly Hill Academy 44, Jefferson Davis 46, W.W. King 22. So we have a few more Skeeza finals to get in. We'll look for those here over the next few minutes. Let's go back to the, before we go to the phone calls, real quick to David Shelton. David, if you're with us, is he with us? David, are you with us? David Shelton? Do we lose David? Having a problem.
I'm going to deal with this phone system if it kills me.
Having a problem. In the meantime, we'll go to who's next? Hugh?
Yep.
All right, let's go to Hugh Grant, Newberry, and Silver Bluff. Hello, Hugh.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, bud. Newberry and Silver Bluff. Good to have you with us.
Yeah.
Give us the details.
All right. It was a great game in the fog on the bluff tonight between Newberry and Silver Bluff. Two pretty evenly matched teams coming into the night, although the records did not show that, especially for Silver Bluff. But first 6 drives, actually, 3 drives by each team, none of which resulted in points. But Newberry breaks through with about 9:21 left in the second quarter. An 8-yard touchdown pass from Kenton Caldwell to Bryce Satterwhite puts Newberry up 7-0. Crazy play on the next drive by Silver Bluff. They end up there at a 3rd and 17, end up throwing a pass that gets to a receiver that got behind the defense, 74-yard touchdown to tie it up, 7-7 with 7:34 left in the half. Then Newberry again drives. Ken Caldwell hits Caleb Levy for a touchdown, 14-7 with 5:02 to go in the half. A bad snap on Silver Bluff's next drive, and that was kind of a theme of the night with the damp field and kind of wet conditions, although it wasn't raining. But a lot of bad snaps over the night. Bad snap for Silver Bluff gives them a long 4th down. Newberry gets the ball after the punt. There was a touchdown pass from Caldwell to Bryce Satterwhite again, puts Newberry up 20-7, and that's the way the half ended. Silver Bluff got the ball first in the second half, got out to midfield. Another bad snap was recovered by Julian Sin, who takes it 46 yards for a score on a scoop and score, 27-7 Newberry. You kind of think the fat lady might be singing. The two teams traded a couple of possessions. Newberry, though, then a bad snap gives Silver Bluff the ball on the Newberry 13, and Silver Bluff scores to make it 27-14. Silver Bluff holds Newberry on 4th down on the next drive and then drives themselves 75 yards for a score. It's 27-21 in the 4th quarter. But Newberry has to punt on their next possession. Silver Bluff, return guy, catches it, starts running laterally, and they have a reverse on, and the pitch is dropped. Newberry recovers and then scores with about 2 minutes, 37 seconds left to make it 33-21. The Newberry D stood up against the Silver Bluff offense, ended up with a 4th and 45. Silver Bluff turns the ball over on downs, and that's how it ended, 33-21.
Man, what a ball game. The Bulldogs have to feel good now moving forward into the postseason. Gotta like the way this team has played all season and the kind of win you got tonight.
Yeah, feel good about the way we've gone through the region and the confidence the players have, and actually looking forward to seeing you Monday night in Newberry.
Yep, looking forward to being there, and thank you for calling in and joining us tonight.
Sure thing. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugh. Hugh, the story on Newberry and their win tonight over Silver Bluff. Okay. Trying to get that final score here on Hammond. Hammond did beat Cardinal Newman tonight. I think it was 35-6, that final score in the first round of the SCISA playoffs. So you can put that one in the win column for Hammond. Let's get one more report on the air. Let me know when David is back with us, assuming we haven't hung up on him again. So let's go to Thomas Grant from the Prep Red Zone. And, Thomas, what game were you at tonight? Fill us in.
Okay, I was at the Sumter Bridgeview game when the region championship was on the line.
Ooh, let me jump in, Thomas. Thomas, let me jump in, man. We got a terrible cell on you there. So if you would, give us a quick call back. We're going to drop that line and see if we can get a better connection with you, Thomas. Give us a quick call back. Let's go to Lane Harris next with Myrtle Beach High School tonight. Myrtle Beach and Socastee. Hey, Lane, it's good to have you with us.
Hey, Phil.
Hey.
I'm cruising down 544 on my way home. Let me pull off the road here so I don't kill myself or somebody else.
Don't hit a Coastal Carolina student or anything while you're driving through there.
Great game tonight at Socastee High School between the Myrtle Beach Seahawks and the Socastee Braves. Gibson Goodrow last week in their 21-6 win over North Myrtle Beach suffered a concussion in the ball game, and he was in concussion protocol. So we went with a first-time starting junior quarterback, Tanner Gaddy. And all Tanner Gaddy did was, in his first game, 20 of 26, no interceptions, 300 yards, and 2 touchdowns. There is a quarterback controversy now in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
And Mickey Wilson loves it.
You could say a star might be born here, huh?
That's true. Tanner Gaddy played I wouldn't say flawlessly tonight. This Socastee defense was very, very good. This game got started, and it was all Myrtle Beach in the first quarter. We won the toss, received the opening kickoff, and Tanner Gaddy, John Simmons, Tyree Colvin hooking up on some big pass plays to get down the field. And out of the Rhino package at the 3-yard line, Antonio Brown runs it in for a touchdown with about a 2.5-minute drive to stake Myrtle Beach to an early 6-0 lead as the extra point was blocked. 3 and out by the Socastee Braves. Myrtle Beach gets the ball back, and a 61-yard touchdown pass from Tanner Gaddy to John Simmons. John Simmons on the night, 7 catches, 206 yards, and 2 touchdowns. John Simmons in the last 2 games has caught for over 350 yards and 4 touchdowns in his last 2 games, putting up some Jamar Chase-type numbers. The game continued to go in Myrtle Beach's favor. We scored again early in the second quarter on another Antonio Brown 3-yard touchdown run out of the Rhino package, and a 2-point conversion made it 21-0. But after that, the Myrtle Beach offense kind of fell out of gear. 2 straight 3-and-outs, and Socastee was able to climb back with a field goal and 2 consecutive touchdowns with a blocked extra point to make it 21-16 at halftime. Socastee received the second half kickoff, and with a long return by Jonathan Goswick, a kid that's got a bright college future in front of him for the Socastee Braves, a 51-yard return back into Myrtle Beach territory. It took them about 3 plays to get into the end zone, and they took the lead 23-21. And then with about 4 minutes left in the ball game, starting cornerback, let me get my light on here so I can see his name and give him this proper justification here. Israel Brown, senior, comes in, blocks a punt, is scooped up by Tyree Colvin and ran back 40 yards, unofficially 40 yards, for a touchdown with 3:47 to go in the third quarter. Myrtle Beach takes a 28-23 lead back, and then at the end of the game, a 22-yard touchdown pass from Tanner Gaddy to John Simmons puts us at the 35-23 final score. Myrtle Beach moves to 6-4 on the season with a 4-1 region record. They are the number 1 Division II seed out of our region because Carolina Forest won the region with a 5-0 record, but they'll be playing in Division II ball. Socastee, Conway, North Myrtle Beach, and Myrtle Beach, 5 of the teams of the 6 teams in Region 6-5A will be advancing to the playoffs. And we're hoping, we don't know the exact metrics of it, and there's a smoke-filled room that has to clear sometime tomorrow afternoon before we find it out. But we think the Myrtle Beach Seahawks are going to come in as a number 4 seed and get a bye next week, giving Gibson Goodrow an opportunity to rest another 2 weeks before he has to hit the field again in Myrtle Beach's first-round playoff game, which we hope will take place 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah, but do you think, again, is there a quarterback controversy, or is this just a one game and the previous quarterback will return?
No, I've always been the proponent, and, my broadcast partner, Matt Hogue, he's a proponent of this. You never lose your position due to an injury. And while Tanner and Gibson have very good skill sets, one's left-handed and one's right-handed, Gaddy being the left-hander, it gives teams another thing to have to prepare for should we get into the playoffs and advance further. The Seahawks team has kind of struggled with consistency. We've seen bits and pieces of some stellar play on both the offensive, defensive, and special teams side of the ball from them all season long. But, in order to win a state championship, you've got to be pretty consistent. Myrtle Beach is not there yet, but they're starting to pick things up at the right time.
Lane, great hearing from you, man. Enjoy your Saturday off after having to work last night, working tonight, and we'll catch you next week in the playoffs or maybe in 2 weeks when you guys play.
That sounds good. Look forward to it, Phil. Y'all have a good night.
You too, Lane. Thank you very much. Lane Harris, voice of the Myrtle Beach Seahawks. Okay, let's run to the break, and then let's get ourselves reorganized after the break. Do you think we'll have David Shelton with us after the break? Maybe, possibly. Love to have some David Shelton if we can get David on the phone. Do your magic, JP. Make something happen, okay? I mean, I know you're
resorting
upset.
to the nuclear option here.
Okay, well, whatever you have to do, get her done. Hammond did win 36-6 over Cardinal Newman tonight. Hilton Head Christian beat Florence Christian 42-7, and we'll be right back.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Farm Bureau insurance agents live and work right in our community. They're not at the end of some 1-800 number thousands of miles away. The personalized attention, competitive rates, and a reputation for fast, fair claim service sets Farm Bureau insurance apart from the competition. For your auto, home, and life insurance needs, trust Farm Bureau Insurance. In Clinton and Lawrence, give Buddy Bridges a call at 864-984-0413 or stop by the office at 726 East Main Street in Lawrence to see how local makes a difference.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hostetler-Brown. Helping an aging loved one arrange for their care can be one of the most difficult things you will ever do. Fortunately, you don't have to navigate this maze alone. Lawyer Lisa's knowledgeable life care team can lead you down the right path. Visit lawyerlisa.com to see how we can help.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Founders Federal Credit Union believes in empowering future generations, helping to provide our youth a smart start as they begin their financial journey. Discover Smart Start by Founders. Start off with Smart Start savings with a low minimum balance of just $5. teach responsible spending with a free debit card, text alerts, and no minimum balance. Jumpstart a lifetime of saving and investing with a Smart Start 12-month certificate featuring flexible deposits. Start with just $100 and add more deposits at any time. Finally, dive in deeper with fun educational resources. Founders is excited to team up with you with resources and support to give our youth a smart start towards a brighter tomorrow. Learn more at foundersfcu.com/smartstart. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay. It's so much fun watching JP on the screen as he jumps from one phone to the next, trying to get everything lined up. We're having a little bit of a phone computer issue tonight as we try to get everybody on. Maybe we're overloading the phone lines. Who knows? Let's welcome back David Shelton from the High School Sports Report, Post and Courier here. Hello, David.
I am here.
There you go.
I sure would like to comment on some of these great games that have been going on.
Hey, you know what? The floor is yours. Go right ahead. Knock yourself out.
Well, now I can't remember any of them.
All right. Let's talk about Dutch Fork and Irmo.
As advertised, as predicted, I figured Irmo would score once or twice, and I figured Dutch Fork would score more. Dutch Fork's the better team, but Irmo's obviously a state title contender in Division II, and got nothing to hang their heads. I mean, that's a great football game. I heard it was an unbelievable atmosphere.
Batesburg-Leesville beating Strom Thurmond 8-7.
Yeah, Strom Thurmond was up 7-0, so I'm assuming that Batesburg scored and went for two for the win. I don't know that if it was late in the game or whatever, but obviously they put all their marbles on the 2-point conversion and finished the regular season undefeated and the region champions. And I tell you what, that region was something else with them and Saluda and Strom Thurmond, and it's going to be interesting to see which one of those can navigate the playoffs.
BL's defense must be smothering. They just must be smothering this year.
Yeah, I haven't seen them obviously, but people that I talk to and read about and stuff like that, yeah, they're very athletic and very quick. Just hard to get anything going against them.
How about North Augusta beating Gray Collegiate 20-17?
Yeah, good win for them. We'll see what happens with Gray if they're going to be in the playoffs, but region title for North Augusta, and they've had a great year. North Augusta's been good all year. We haven't really talked about them, but they've had a great season.
How do you like Gray Collegiate's chances on that appeal?
Oh, it's so hard. That appellate panel is so different. It's 50-50. I don't know. I mean, it's I hate it for the kids, but rules are rules.
When will they have that appeal? Do you know?
I would assume like Monday, maybe.
I would think. I mean, I would think that they'd have to get it done early in the week, because if it's a no-go for Gray Collegiate, that means somebody who's not in the playoffs now is going to get bumped in, right?
Yeah, and I think from what I understand, the brackets when they come out tomorrow will not have Gray Collegiate in the bracket, so somebody will be in there.
No.
And then if Gray Collegiate gets in the playoffs, then that team that showed up in the bracket is going to get booted. So that's not a great situation.
So all you do now is make two communities mad when you do that,
It's like, hey, we're in the playoffs. No, we're not.
It's like NASCAR, man. It's like NASCAR. After two of their races in the playoffs, guys who thought they were moving forward got bumped out because of violation. So after the checkered flag, so they're getting more and more like NASCAR every day. Okay, David, good that you're with us. Hang on. We're going to hit a break here at the bottom of the hour and come back and get more reports on the airwaves here tonight. Got more SCISA finals in here in the 8-man playoffs. Richard Wynn, 51. Newberry Academy, 16. Woodlaw Academy, 46. Holly Hill Academy, 44. Jefferson Davis, 46. W.W. King, 22. In the 1A playoffs, Buford Academy, 23. Carolina Academy, 21. We'll go through all this and more after the break.
Of the Point. Call Kev directly at 563-8558. Teaming with the Point, you can make the next year your best year.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe, someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
With SRN News, I'm Ron Taylor. Southern California firefighters have made progress against a wildfire that's destroyed 132 homes. The flames were fanned by fierce winds that began easing Friday, allowing some people to return to sort through the charred remains. The mountain fire started Wednesday morning in Ventura County and had grown to 32 square miles. Several federal and state agencies are investigating how racist mass texts were sent to black people across the country in the wake of the presidential election this week. The messages invoking slavery raised alarm across the country this week after they were sent to black men, women, and students, including middle schoolers, prompting inquiries into the FBI and other agencies. Stocks cruised to more records as they closed their best week in a year. The S&P 500 rose 0.4% Friday to cap its biggest weekly gain since early November 2023. It also briefly crossed above the 6,000 level for the first time. The Dow Industrials climbed 0.6%. This is SRN News.
How would you define your relationship?
This is Ian with AccuClean. Regular carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning isn't just about keeping them looking beautiful and smelling fresh. It can also help to extend their life, which in turn saves money in the long run. Check out AccuClean today for our other services, such as mattress sanitation, odor and enzyme treatments, and leather cleaning and conditioning. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 for all your carpet cleaning needs and more. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. I'll see you soon.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
Folks, Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action while watching football. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everyone. The app is really simple to use. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less in their projection, and you could win up to 100 times your money. Prize Picks even created the Flex Play, allowing you to still cash out if one of your picks doesn't hit. Run your game all season long over at Prize Picks. Producer Jake, he's been making bank this season. He's making some pretty smart plays. I'm afraid, frankly, if he does too well on Prize Picks, we may lose him as an employee. Download that Prize Picks app today. Use code Shapiro. Get $50 credit instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Shapiro on Prize Picks to get $50 credit instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states where it is lawful to wager. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. You just want to spice up watching that football game on Sunday. Prize Picks is the place to go. Again, download that Prize Picks app today and use code Shapiro to get $50 credit instantly when you play your first $5 lineup.
Someone will be right with you. Please continue to hold.
The Point.
Da, da, da. You know, some songs just make you want to stand up and march. That's one of them. You hear that, you just want to get out of your seat, grab your pom-poms, and start marching. David Shelton. You ever thought about grabbing pom-poms and stop and marching on the field? David?
I'm not a pom-pom marching kind of guy.
That was a question. That was an observation. Okay, back on the high school scoreboard from the Sports Talk Media Network. That's David Shelton, Phil Kornblut here in Nashville, J.P. Perry back in Columbia, and back to the phones. Let me give you these, because they're in playoff action, let me give you these SCISA finals once again. We've got everybody in except for 2 scores in SCISA, and I'm telling you, it's like pulling teeth to get SCISA scores, is it not? 4A playoffs, Hammond 35, Cardinal Newman 6, Augusta Christian 17, Ben Lippen 7, Porter Goud 44, Heathwood Hall 15, Northwood Academy 49, Lawrence Manning 20. 3A playoffs, Wilson Hall 25, John Paul II 14, Hilton Head Christian 42, Florence Christian 7. Pinewood Prep 49, Trinity Collegiate 13, Northside Christian 53, First Baptist 28. 2A playoffs, PD Academy 56, Spartanburg Christian 19, Greenwood Christian 28, St. John's Christian 14, Bethesda Academy 36, Orangeburg Prep nothing. 1A playoffs, Thomas Hayward 55, Lee Academy 12, Dorchester Academy 45, Colleton Prep 7, Williamsburg Academy 55, Patrick Henry 6, and Beaufort Academy 23, Carolina Academy 21, and the 8-man playoffs, Richard Wynn 51, Newberry Academy 16, Woodlaw Academy 46, Holly Hill Academy 44, Jefferson Davis 46, W.W. King 22. So we're missing Hilton Head Prep and Calhoun Academy and Cross Schools and Lawrence Academy. So if you have those scores, give us a call or you can text us on our text line, which is 803-900-4847, 803-900-4847. Okay, with that, let's go to Thomas Grant from the Prep Red Zone. Back with us, hopefully with a better sell this time around. Thomas, welcome in, and who were you watching tonight?
Yeah, Phil. Tonight I was at Ridgeview High School. They were playing Sumter for the region title, and for the most part, it was all Sumter tonight, 49-6. Sumter, another team that finished 10-0 on the year, really have gotten a lift this past season from their first year starting quarterback, sophomore Franklin Richardson. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, and he really kept Ridgeview off balance just with his ability to do a fake option, fake handoffs with his RPO ability, and he also threw one for 44 yards. That also opened up the way for their running back, their backfield. He had both John Peoples, who had a rushing touchdown. You had Cleveland Preethy, who had a rushing touchdown. And then you had Cameron Fortune, who had 2 rushing touchdowns, including one where he was twisted by the ankle, looked like he was about to go down, but he somehow stayed upright and ended up moving forward for a 50-yard touchdown. Ridgeview, even though they had brought back Jordan Gigtron, he only had a couple of receptions tonight. The only touchdown came off Trey Howard on a 23-yard touchdown pass to Christian Jackson. For the most part, that was all of Ridgeview's offense. So now you look at Sumter right now. They're second currently in the lower state Division One rankings. That puts them right behind Somerville, but they'll be one of those teams that'll get a first-round bye. So it wouldn't surprise me if you look at that side of the bracket, you could be looking at a another Somerville-Sumter showdown down the line.
Mm-hmm. All right, two things you mentioned. Good to hear that Gidron is back for Ridgeview. They need him healthy. And you mentioned a Cleveland Pinckney for Sumter.
Yes.
That's not the son of, is it?
That I'm not sure of. I mean, it could be possibly, but I'm not sure. I mean, he's one of their reserve backs. They have a very deep backfield at Sumter.
Yeah.
And so he was like about the fourth, fifth person that came off the bench.
Yeah. Well, if it is, I remember his dad was quite the man on defense at Sumter and on the Shrine Bowl team and at South Carolina back in the day.
Yeah, I believe he's a freshman. Yeah, because,
could be.
He had to go to he was actually, I believe he's a freshman. I actually had to go because he wasn't on the original roster, so I had to go actually to the Sumter coaching box, and his name came up, and I believe he's a newcomer, so it wouldn't surprise me if he maybe is Pinckney's son.
Yeah. Okay, Thomas, thank you, man, and we'll look for you next week.
Okay.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Yeah, Cleveland Pinckney, David Shelton, one of the largest human beings I've ever been next to in a football uniform.
Well, as good as he was in football, I know you never got to see him wrestle, but, man, he was WWE Brock Lesnar in wrestling. I mean, he was a beast. And it was not even fair when people walk out on the mat. You'd just be like, "What are you doing? You're gonna get hurt." Because he was so, he's only about 6'1", 6'2", but man, he was 285, 290, and just strong. God, he was so strong.
Yep,
Hey,
and let me say this: he last played in the league with the Lions in 2006. He's 47, so stands to reason that well, he was Cleveland Pinckney the third, so this would be number 4, I guess. Cleveland Pinckney IV the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, his kid would be like, if he's a freshman, he's like 14
Mm-hmm.
or 15.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I wanted to mention, because I haven't been able to get on the show, the game that I was at tonight, Cane Bay and Berkeley. Cane Bay defeated Berkeley 28-23. And what a story. We started talking about this a week ago. They started 0-7. They were 0-7, and I was telling people they might have been the worst team in Charleston. And they beat Stratford, then they beat Goose Creek, and tonight they beat Berkeley. And because Stratford beat Goose Creek, Cane Bay wins Region 7 5A with a 3-7 record and gets a first-round bye in the Division I playoffs. And just an incredible heart effort tonight to hold off Berkeley at the end. I mean, Berkeley had the ball down around the 10-yard line at the end of the game and threw a pick. But Cane Bay, it's an incredible story because, I mean, I'm telling you, when they were 0-7, they were really bad. And they just put it together at the right time. And I actually texted you on your phone Russell Zare's number for JP to call him, and we can get him on the show if we can. But just an incredible win for Cane Bay. Berkeley will probably get a bye also in Division II. And then Stratford beat Goose Creek on the other end of the city, and that allowed the winner of the Cane Bay-Berkeley game to win the region, and it was Cane Bay.
How about that?
You're not going to see many teams go 0-7. I mean, kids give up 0-7, and to beat 3 county rivals in consecutive weeks, is really just a testament to their character. That's incredible. It's an incredible story, really.
It really is. Awesome stuff. We'll call him after the break. Thank you, Dennis Brunson, with the score. Calhoun Academy beat Hilton Head Prep 42-27. So all we need is Lawrence Academy and Cross Schools, if anybody's got that. Lawrence Academy, Cross Schools. Back to the phones, reporters out in the fields tonight. You guys have done a mammoth job. We appreciate you. And it's Kevin Selman, the voice of T.L. Hanna. And the Yellow Jackets get a win tonight. They tune up for the postseason, 43-20 over Hillcrest. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, Phil. How you doing tonight? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, sir.
So this might be a scoreboard show first. I hope it is anyway. I would have been in a lot. I would have been in a lot earlier tonight. I was actually on hold to call in, and I saw some blue lights pop up behind me, so I had to disconnect my call and pull over for a little meeting on the side of the road with a nice, kind state trooper. So that's a true story.
I can feel your pain, man. I can feel your pain.
It was all good. He said I didn't use my turd signal, which yes sir, no sir, I'm sorry sir. He took my information, gave me a warning, and sent me on my way. But it did postpone my call in, so I apologize. But I'm better late than never, I guess.
Yes, glad to have you.
Anyway,
I'm glad you're not. You're not using your one phone call from the Anderson County Jail or whatever.
That's right. So the game as it went tonight, it was a little bit of a slow start for the Yellow Jackets. The Hillcrest actually went up 7-0, and I think that kind of lit a little fire under the Jackets. They went on a 43-0 run after that to go up 43-7 midway through the third quarter, and kind of put it on cruise, play a lot of people, and give up a couple late scores, which that counts. But it was a lopsided affair. The final was actually 43-21, not 43-20, but nevertheless, big night for the Jackets as they won their Region 1 5A for the third consecutive year and 4 out of 5 years. And now sit back and have a bye next week, and we'll be at home in a couple of weeks, but we don't know the opponent yet. So, but another good season for the Jackets. A young football team that started off a little bit slow, but kind of find their way about mid-season. Started, I guess, with that big win over JLman a few weeks back, and they haven't looked back since.
Sounds good. Hey, thank you very much. Great job, because, I can speak from experience. Whenever I get pulled over, I'm a little shaky. It's hard for me to talk after that experience. So you did a great job.
Well, I appreciate it, Phil. Have a good time in Nashville.
You too. Hey, if you're heading up to Blacksburg, drive slowly. Very slowly.
All right. Appreciate you, Phil.
Thank you, Kevin. Talk to you a couple of weeks when you guys are back in action. All right, run to our final break here. We've got our final score of the night in. Thank you again, Dennis Brunson, for coming through like a champ. Lawrence Academy beat Cross Schools in the Skeeza 8-man playoffs. David, I know you were hanging on the edge for that. 56-22, Lawrence Academy beats Cross Schools. Skeeza 8-man. And we'll be back. Got some more reporters coming up. Don't go away.
In Columbia, South Carolina, game days are our specialty. Whether you're watching the game from inside the stadium or from the big screen at your favorite local spot, the energy remains the same. Craft the perfect fall Saturday in a city where there is plenty of action on and off the field. From tubing and kayaking to Soda City to rooftop restaurants and plenty barbecue. We're ready when you are. Plan your weekend at experiencecolumbiasc.com.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Set your youth up for a lifetime of financial success with Smart Start from Founders Federal Credit Union. Smart Start products and educational resources help teach kids and teens the basics of saving, budgeting, and smart spending. Help them learn smart money skills to jumpstart their financial journey with Smart Start savings, debit, certificates, and educational resources. Learn more at foundersfcu.com/smartstart. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
Touchstone Energy Cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
All right. We got to move quickly. Let's go to Chris Deering on hand tonight. Chris was at that Irmo Dutch Fort game, and thank you for joining us tonight, Mr. Deering. And Dutch Fort defense pretty much held things in check tonight, and their offense did enough.
No, that's about right. And before we get to this game real quick, back to the story David was just telling about Cane Bay. Not only are they region champs, at 3-7, they're the number one seed in the Class 5A Division II lower state playoffs.
Wow. and they were 0-7.
They're the only region champion. They were the only region champion in that bracket. Irmo will be the number 2 seed in the lower state part of the bracket. So, incredible turnaround by Cane Bay. But to my game tonight, I know you got to go quick. Most of the scoring done in the first half. That Dutch Fork defense, A.J. Brand's he's been everything for this Irmo program for 4 years. He's got over 10,000 career yards, and for pretty much they kept him in check. He did have over 100 yards rushing, 161 yards passing, but they never really let him get out and sort of go. And, they started off with a spy on Brand, and that didn't really work out for him. Irmo went down the field the first time they had the ball about 90 yards and scored a touchdown. And so they changed that up after that first drive and only allowed a miraculous 78-yard pass where Brand sort of jumped up between two defenders, threw the ball down the middle of the field. It was tipped at midfield, and Malik Miller catches it and races the final 50 yards for a 78-yard touchdown. So that was Irmo's 2 scores. Ethan Offing, the quarterback at Dutch Fort, he ran for 2 scores, and he threw a touchdown pass, a 7-yard fade pass to Boyklin Bickley with about 3 minutes to go in the first half, and that made it 21-14, Dutch Fort going into the break. And, pretty much defense has dominated the second half. Irmo did add a 29-yard field goal by Justin Welch, but outside of that, it was all defense for both sides. And, Josh Smith, the kid that just committed to South Carolina this week, he had 10 tackles tonight. Dutch Fork's linebacker Riley Salters was all over the field. He finished with 7 tackles, a fumble recovery, and an interception. So big night for him. Big night for Dutch Fork. They won a state championship last year, but they didn't win a region title. That went to White Knoll. And so, but I do think this is Tom Knott's 14th region title in 15 years. So they did win a region title tonight, finished unbeaten. Gave up 45 points on the year, so I would think they would have to be the favorites in Class 5A Division I.
Pretty strong as always. Hey, Chris, thank you, my man. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you. Let's go quickly to Richard Sally, and I'm imagining that he's going to tell us about Orangeburg Prep tonight. Richard, did not go well for OP?
No, it did not. I know you already got the score in, but I had to drop my partner off in St. George, and I had my notes, so I said I'd give you a call. So
yes, sir.
Anyway, OP got into trouble early, had 3 turnovers in the first quarter. Bethesda is really good. The scoring started off with Asir Best on a 6-yard touchdown run. Best again on the 2-point conversion, 8-0. Bethesda later in the first quarter, Best on a 65-yard touchdown run, and also on another 2-point conversion for a 16-0 lead right off the get-go. Still in the first quarter, Jordan Turner, a freshman quarterback for Bethesda, threw a 39-yard touchdown pass to Raleigh Wesley for another score, and Jeffrey Armstrong converted the 2-point conversion. So 24-0 still in the first quarter. So OP got down real early by a lot. In the second quarter, Best on a 2-yard touchdown run. The point failed. And then finally, Turner again on a 15-yard touchdown pass to Raleigh Wesley for a 36-0 lead. Boy, that Bethesda team out of Savannah is really quick. Orangeburg Prep just couldn't match up with them at all. They're going to be tough to handle. They are the defending 2A state champions in Skeeza. And if things went right, I think Calhoun would probably be their next appointment, but that's going to be a tough challenge for Calhoun next week.
Absolutely. Hey, Richard, thank you very much, and keep in touch. Hopefully we'll hear from you again in the playoffs.
All righty. Thank you, Phil. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Richard. We appreciate it. Very quickly, David, we do have your coach on the line with us, Coach Russell Zier from Cane Bay High School. David was just telling us what a fantastic turnaround story it's been for Cane Bay. The coach is with us. We've got about 4 minutes with him, so this is good, a 4-minute push here at the very end of the program. And Coach, welcome into the high school scoreboard, and congratulations to you and your guys for what you accomplished this season.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
David was telling us, David Shelton's with me, and you start off 0-7, you finish as region champions. What does that mean to you?
I tell you what, I'm so excited and so proud of these kids. Any team at 0-7, it ain't no fun. And people are talking crap about you, and you wonder why you're out there, and everybody's blaming the coach, and kids are blaming each other, and it's just this group has really just stayed focused. And 0-7, we weren't that bad. We were just really young, and it takes time. Especially in 5A football, everybody's good. So it just takes some time for these kids to finally figure it out. And once they figured it out, they just have gotten better each and every week, and they just play with so much heart. And for the first region championship in school history to be for a team that finished the regular season 3-7, I mean, these kids really, I'm just proud of their effort and how hard they continue to work, and coaches as well. I mean, we ain't having no fun at 0-7. So the fact that our coaching staff just continue to work and get better, it just means a lot to this program.
Absolutely, David. You have a question for the coach?
Oh, I know this is probably the best birthday present you ever had, isn't it, Russell?
It's definitely in the top 3 for sure.
Talk about, you were 0-7, but you played teams like Ashley Ridge, White Knoll, Myrtle Beach. I mean, you weren't playing the weak Sisters of the Poor, and with a young team, and you were, taking some lumps. But do you think that schedule, kind of toughened you, hardened you up for this last 3 games?
Difference was just kind of, we're 0-5 and we're blaming it on our non-region schedule, and then we're playing Lucy Beckham and Wando and losing to them. But it was just mistake after mistake. I mean, that they played well against us, but we did so many things to hurt ourselves. And I feel like when you're playing a tough schedule and the kids are saying, all these teams are good, then it's kind of a built-in excuse. But then all of a sudden you play somebody that's not better than you, that just plays better than you, and that kind of puts it back on the kids. And now they realize, okay, we've got to work harder in practice. We've got to get better at little things. I mean, we lost to Lucy Beckham because we hit the center on a field goal that they missed and gave them an automatic first down, and they scored. I mean, that was the difference in the ball game. So it was just stupid mistake after stupid mistake we continued to make, and I feel like they finally just
focused and I mean the effort, especially the last 3 weeks, has been great. And I mean, you know, I hate to brag on our defense, but we had 5 takeaways tonight, and that's against a pretty good football team. We had 3 picks and 2 fumble recoveries. So, you know, keep our offense, you know, having long drives and keeping their offense off the field, and then our defense taking away 5 opportunities for them to score. You know, it's just that's pretty good stuff.
Hey, Coach, we have to run, but thank you for being with us. Congratulations. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, and thank you, David Shelton. Thank you, J.P. Barry. Have a great night, everybody.